Welcome back to the Mastering the Keys series. We will learn how to master playing in every key on the piano. Whether you're an aspiring music producer, a composer, a songwriter, or just want to get better at the piano, learning every key is important because many people say that each key has its own unique sound and emotions that are associated with it. Let me know what feelings you get from this one down in the comments below. Now, the last major key that we looked at was E flat major, so let's travel down the circle of fifths to our next stop at A flat major. Every time we move down the circle of fifths, we'll add another flat to the key signature. In the key of A flat major, we have 4 flats, which are B flat, E flat, A flat, and now we'll add the next flat into the series, D flat. So now let's break down the notes that make up the A flat major scale. Since the name of the key is A flat, the root note of the scale is also A flat. By following the major scale step pattern of whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, and half step, we'll get the notes A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat, F, G, and back to A flat. And now let's take a look at how to play the A flat major scale on the piano. Starting in the right hand, we'll take our middle finger, which is finger number 3, and we'll start on A flat and play finger 3, then play B flat with 4, then we'll shift or cross your thumb over so we can play C with finger 1, then D flat with 2, E flat with 3, and then shift your hand up to play F with finger 1, G with finger 2, and land on A flat with finger 3. Then head back down the piano with finger 2 on G and finger 1 on F. Then we'll shift our hand down so that you land on E flat with finger 3, play D flat with 2, and C with 1. Then we'll cross over one more time, playing finger 4 on B flat, and finally land home on A flat with finger 3. Again, those finger numbers for the A flat major scale are 3, 4, shift, 1, 2, 3, shift, 1, 2, 3. Back down on 2, 1, shift, 3, 2, 1, shift, 4, 3. So practice that scale pattern as slow as you need to, where you can do it at least 3 times in a row without making any mistakes, then you can start working on speeding it up. And once you feel comfortable with that, we can go ahead and move on to the left hand. Looking at the left hand now, find A flat and put finger number 3 on there. We'll play A flat with 3, B flat with 2, and C with 1. Then we'll shift up to play D flat with finger 4, E flat with finger 3, F with 2, G with 1, and then we'll shift up and land on A flat with finger 3. We'll then shift back down, playing G with 1, F with 2, and E flat with 3, and D flat with 4. Then we'll shift and play C with finger 1, B flat with finger 2, and then land home on A flat with finger number 3. Again, those finger numbers for the A flat major left hand scale are 3, 2, 1, shift, 4, 3, 2, 1, shift, 3. Then head back down, shifting down and playing 1, 2, 3, 4, shift, 1, 2, 3. Now we'll do that a few times until it's comfortable to play, and then work on playing both hands together at the same time. Now let's set up our hands with right hand finger number 3 on A flat and our left hand finger number 3 on A flat. And we'll play A flat, then B flat, then the right hand will shift up to C, and the left hand will shift up to D flat, then play E flat, and now the right hand shifts up to F, then play G, and now the left hand shifts up to A flat. Now we'll head back down, shifting the left hand down to G, then play F, and now the right hand shifts down to E flat, then play D flat, and now the left hand will shift down to C, the right hand shifts down to B flat, and finally we'll land home on A flat with finger 3 in both hands. Now let's go ahead and do that again, but just a little slower. We'll play A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat, F, G, and A flat. Then head back down from A flat to G, then F, play E flat, D flat, C, B flat, and finally land back home on A flat. And that is how you play the A-flat major scale on the piano with both hands. If you're following along on your piano, great work learning that scale. Once you feel comfortable with that, we can move on to learning the arpeggios. Arpeggios are just runs that play the root, the third, and the fifth notes of the scale, which in A-flat major are the notes A-flat, C, and E-flat. Like with the scales, we'll want to learn the hands separately before trying them together, so let's start off looking at the right hand first. Since this arpeggio has two black keys with a white key in between them, we'll use the Oreo finger pattern of 2, 1, 2, 4 for this arpeggio. So start by placing your right hand index finger on A-flat, and then manipulate your hand to have finger 1 above it on the C key. So we'll play A-flat with finger 2, and then C with 1, then bring finger number 2 over your thumb and use it to play E-flat. Then we'll play A-flat with finger 4, then shift your hand up to play C with 1, then play E-flat with 2, and A-flat with 4. Then we'll come back down with 2 on E-flat and 1 on C, then shift down to play A-flat with 4, E-flat with 2, C with 1, and then cross back over, landing on A-flat with finger 2. Again, those finger numbers are 2, cross, 1, 2, 4, shift, 1, 2, 4. Then back down on 2, 1, shift, 4, 2, 1, cross, 2. And now let's take a look at the left hand, which plays the same notes, but it'll use a different fingering. For this one, we start with finger 2 on A-flat, and we'll play A-flat, then C with 1, then shift your hand up to land with finger 4 on E-flat, then play A-flat with 2, C with 1, then shift your hand up to play E-flat with 4, and land on A-flat with 2. Then come back down with E-flat on 4, shift down and play C with 1, A-flat with 2, and E-flat with 4, then shift down and play C with 1, and land home on A-flat with finger 2. Again, those finger numbers are 2, 1, shift, 4, 2, 1, shift, 4, 2. And then back down on 4, shift, 1, 2, 4, shift, 1, 2. Now we can practice each hand separately very slowly until you can play them smoothly, then try putting them together, which will look like this. If you've been playing along with this video, awesome job with those. I believe that the arpeggios are often the hardest part of learning a new key, so I think it gets easier from here on out. And now we can move on to talking about the 1, 4, and 5/7 chord progression. We practice these chords because the 1, the 4, and the 5 chords are the most commonly played chords in just about any piece of music, all the way from old classical pieces to modern rock or pop songs. By knowing how to play these 3 chords, you can also pretty easily write your own song in this key. You'll most likely see these chords in the wild in triad form, which just means a chord made up from 3 different notes. So we try to keep them down to 3 notes each when learning them here, which is why you'll see in a moment that we remove that 5th interval from the 5/7 chord. Now in the key of A-flat major, the major 1 chord of A-flat is spelled A-flat, C, and E-flat. The major 4 chord is D-flat major, spelled D-flat, F, and A-flat. And the 5/7 chord is E-flat 7, spelled E-flat, G, B-flat, and D-flat. But in order to make the chords fit better in our hands, we'll play that major 4 chord in its second inversion, so it will be a D-flat chord that's stacked on the A-flat and spelled A-flat, D-flat, and F. The 5/7 chord will be stacked in its first inversion, which means we spell the chord starting on the first note above the root, and we'll remove that 5th interval of the chord, leaving us with 3 notes, which will be the 3rd, the 7th, and the root note of the chord. This new chord will be spelled G, D-flat, and E-flat. Now a chord progression that we use goes major 1, major 4, back to major 1, 5/7, and 1. So to start, we'll play that A-flat major chord, and then we'll move up to that D-flat chord, the major 4, in its second inversion, spelled A-flat, D-flat, and F, then go back down to that 1 chord. And then we'll play that E flat 7 chord in its first inversion, but without the fifth of the chord, which gives us the notes G, D flat, and E flat. And then finally we'll end by going back to that major 1 chord in root position. Playing all of the chords back to back looks like this. Now, great job making it through those. There's just one last thing to talk about before truly mastering the key of A flat major, and those are the inversions. These are just going through different ways to stack the A flat major chord. Looking first at the right hand, we'll play an A flat major chord in its root position with the notes A flat, C, and E flat, using a classic 1, 3, and 5 fingering. Then we'll move finger 1 up to C, so we play C, E flat, and A flat, which is the first inversion of the A flat major chord, with fingers 1, 2, and 5. Then we'll move the right hand up again so that finger 1 is on E flat to play the second inversion of the A flat major chord, which is spelled E flat, A flat, and C, with fingers 1, 3, and 5. And finally, move up to play that A flat major chord in its root position but an octave up, with our classic fingers 1, 3, and 5. Going to the left hand now, the notes are the same, but we'll use different fingers. We'll play that root A flat major chord with fingers 5, 3, and 1 on A flat, C, and E flat. Then we'll shift up to have finger 5 on C and play the first inversion of the A flat chord, spelled C, E flat, and A flat, with fingers 5, 3, and 1 again. Then we'll move up to have finger 5 on E flat and play the second inversion of the A flat chord, which is spelled E flat, A flat, and C, and played with fingers 5, 2, and 1. And then finally move up one last time, having your pinky on A flat, and play that root A flat major chord an octave up, with fingers 5, 3, and 1. Like all the other parts of this video, be sure to play each hand slowly until you can play it without errors, then try putting them together and playing them at the same time, which sounds like this. Now, I know I harp on a lot about being sure to play something slowly until you can play it 100% correctly, but it really is important, and unfortunately it took me way too long to realize this, and I still have trouble breaking that habit. But by practicing at a speed that is slow enough to make sure you don't make mistakes anymore, it makes sure it really cements those fingers into your brain. If you can master something slowly, it'll be way easier to get it faster and faster, and you'll be fine at higher tempos. But if you can't 100% play it slowly, you'll never get it right at higher speeds either. I know it can be painful, and it's sometimes demotivating to have to work so slowly on something, and you may have to take a really long time on a very small piece of music. But learning the piano is a very hard thing to do, and you need to make sure you give yourself enough grace to be comfortable with making mistakes and taking the time to correct them instead of just pretending that they don't exist. Now, with my pep talk out of the way, let's go ahead and put together everything that we've learned in this video. We'll do the scale, the arpeggio, the chords, and then the inversions. Now, congratulations on mastering the key of A flat major. If you found this video helpful, please help out the channel by giving this video a like and subscribe if you aren't already. Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for more musical content.